That's life.
That's life. That's what
We saw today.
Today we saw Life.
Life.
Which, if most of you haven't seen a trailer or anything about, it's about a group of astronauts who capture a capsule from Mars. It's got a bunch of little deposits and stuff from it, and there happens to be life in those deposits, and that life it's not that nice to these astronauts at all.
Sure, it turns into your typical
it's
sci-fi horror movie where
it's a nightmare. So seeing this from most of the trailers, it definitely showed way too much in the trailers.
Yes.
Like, big spoiler.
Yes, it did.
Big spoilers in the trailers. So if you haven't seen those, avoid them. Continue to avoid them, because this is a movie you have to see without seeing all those spoilers.
The spoilers definitely kind of,
They take away.
it definitely took away. Like,
I mean, you know what happens, but the fact when you see
I don't have a problem with them showing the beginning of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to get into any details. But in the trailer, they show it at the point of no return, where there's no way that this particular person is going to get out of this mess.
Yep.
So there's no mystery. Like,
so there's that.
There's
that. Let's start with acting. There's about like 6 actors, like actual actors in this movie.
You got Jake Gyllenhaal, Rebecca Ferguson, Ryan Reynolds. Some people you would recognize, but you don't know their name. Hiroyuki Sanada, Olga Dichinaya, Tehovah Janaya, and then this one I'm probably butchering, Arian Bakare.
Welcome to KFR.
Or Ariane Bakare.
Where we just butcher your names.
We butcher names all day, every day.
Yeah.
And they were all really, really compelling characters.
Oh, yeah.
You know, this is definitely a sci-fi that is focused on the characters. They probably take about 10 minutes to actually have some character development.
Yeah, solid 10 to 20 minutes introducing everybody, what their scenario is, like what their role's going to be. And
yeah,
all that.
what they risk in this movie. It did some things that I had never seen. Like, one of them is a paraplegic. And it was really cool because it wasn't your typical, there was a guy that just had a kid, but it wasn't just that. There was more to it. They put some thought into it.
They didn't focus on that too hard.
Yes.
They just introduced it, and that was his character. I guess from there I can go from saying that on our way out of the theater, we were walking behind a couple old ladies, and they were just senile is what they were. Senile elders is what they were. They said this was a waste of Jake Gyllenhaal's resume. This was a throwaway movie for Ryan Reynolds, and they basically said their performances were well, not their performances, but like the movie was crap. And like, did we watch the same movie, old senile lady elder? Huh?
No.
I'm not taking any more of your hard candy that was in your purse. How about that? That's not a compliment.
Candy from a stranger?
You don't. Wait, is that a rule?
The thing that I didn't get is that the movie was exactly like it advertised in the trailer. So why would you go to this movie and expect anything else? That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
You know, it's an intense alien sci-fi horror film.
Key word there is intense, because this was a roller coaster ride the whole freaking movie.
Yeah.
I was so happy. I was grinning like most of the time. This movie was very suspenseful.
Yeah.
And I can definitely say that we're in late March now, and 2017 is definitely making up for what was happening in 2016.
Yeah.
Altogether.
At least for blockbusters, because I don't know if you watched my top 10, but my top 10, when I was doing my top 10, I realized that 2016 for smaller independent films was actually fantastic.
Yeah.
But for blockbusters, it just sucked.
It was terrible.
And the blockbusters that we've seen this year, like Logan, Kong Skull Island,
absolutely knock out whatever happened in 2016.
Get Out. You know, they're so much better, higher quality of the mainstream movies.
I guess the only flaw I actually do have with this movie is they gave the alien like a menacing face. Like an evil face.
Yeah.
Like, instead of just like leaving it to be an alien, they had to give it like a evil.
Evil. It tried to be too philosophical at times. Like there's this one part where Rebecca Ferguson's character is just like, it's not logical, but I feel hate. It's like hate doesn't need to feel logical. Like it's hate.
Pure hate.
Just because you're a scientist doesn't mean that hate doesn't exist for you.
I just have nothing but pure hate. For
Yeah, it was just a really dumb line. Took me out of it for a second.
But
and it did that a few times. It wasn't distracting enough for me to not like the movie. It was just
It's just a nitpick.
It was a nitpick, and that particular line took me out of the movie because it was really dumb and thought it was 1,000 times smarter than it was. Because even the most intelligent people feel hate.
I guess one of the happiest moments I had with this movie was definitely the ending. It definitely...
Yeah, it's not your typical ending.
It's not your typical
That's
ending.
all we're going to say.
And I'm so glad they did it the way that they did it. And I was smiling when I figured it out. I was like, ah.
Mm-hmm.
I said that's life.
That's life.
That's what all the people say.
Ooh. Thanks for watching this video. That's scary.
You did. You
Sorry.
gave me a little startle.
If you click right here, that is going to be last week's review, which was... What do we see?
I saw like 4 movies since we saw whatever it was last week.
What do you see?
Belko.
Thanks for watching that video. If you click right here, that's going to be last week's review for the Belko experiment. I'm keeping that all in, by the way.
That's fine. Over here is going to be a video that I didn't do, so it's just going to be...
This is going to be a random video. And then right here...
It's going to be subscribe button.
Subscribe button. Squeeze that subscribe.
Down below that, a like and dislike button. And down below that, Michael.
Comment section. If you've seen Life, tell us what you thought. That's life.
That's a